Hi everyone, you're listening to Achieve Balance with Dr. Arminta, a show brought to you to help you be healthier, happier, and more vitalistic next year than you are this year. You can find us at achievebalancechiropractic.com/podcast. And you can find us on Facebook as well. We are looking forward to helping you be healthier in your future. Thanks for listening. Now let's start the show. Well, hi guys. Welcome back to another episode of Achieve Balance with Dr. Arminta. And today with me, I have two beautiful, amazing women that are on a mission to help get you access to clean, local, sustainable food done so artistically, and introducing you to how to do it on your own and how to make this a practice for yourself. I've kept Kimber and Kalle Lemone, and we have Nourish Café with us today. So welcome, ladies. I'm so glad to have you. I want to know, where's the brainchild around this idea of a Nourish, and why did you guys create this beautiful cafe and restaurant, and the purpose behind it? And
well, I would say Kalle had the brain baby about Nourish specifically. She wanted to start a restaurant. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so I just wanted something like this in Columbia. I would travel. We see healthy, organic places that paid attention to ingredients. And we cooked very similar at home. I mean, I wasn't ever gluten-free before, but I'm still not. And I wanted something like that in Columbia. I kept saying, we need something like this. We need something like this. And finally I was just sitting around. I was like, well, why don't I do it? One, I've never owned a restaurant before. So I'm like, well, why don't I do it? I could create something like this, and then partner with someone that can execute, and never just and it kind of was in the back of my mind. And I was doing yoga at Yoga Soul. Kimber was my yoga instructor, and I think I was pregnant. She brought a chocolate almond butter cup or something similar like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I've always seen, like on the blogs that I follow, and and so I was like, I didn't know someone in Columbia did this kind of thing. And so I messaged her like a little bit later and was like, do you want to open a restaurant?
Yeah, it's after you popped, I think, that you messaged me.
Yeah, because Bowen was like 8 months at the time.
Yeah.
And then so she knows how amazing you are in the kitchen and your passion for clean, nourishing food.
The thing that I really liked about Kalle was she was a pharmaceutical sales rep. So she's got that business degree, the sales experience, but she was tired of dealing with symptoms and wanted to prevent the symptoms. And that really inspired me too. But I went to culinary school at Cordon Bleu in 2008. I graduated. Then I got my yoga degree and just a small personal nutrition diploma. And I had a catering business that summer, and I was like, how in the world does this girl who I teach yoga to want to open a restaurant with me? And she brought me to Dunn Brothers. We had a conversation, and we really ran with it from there.
We brought a mission statement. That was like kind of the first thing. We're like, let's just even see if we want the same things. Mm-hmm. And then we're like, okay.
I think the only thing that we kind of argued on was gluten-free, because Kalle really wanted sourdough.
I love
and I was like, girl, I'm so bad around gluten. I don't want to. It's just gonna mess with me really bad. I'm really either allergic or highly intolerant. I don't have celiac. I don't need an EpiPen. So whichever you read or whichever doctor you talk to, you never know if it's an allergy or not. So she agreed, and I was just like, I'm corn, soy, processed sugar free. My cookbook was already out, and that's what I was. So she agreed to do that, and then we just wanted to appeal to everyone. So we're not vegan, we're not vegetarian, we're not paleo, we're not Whole30, but we have all those options. We more just want to give you the cleanest way to eat those options, which is what I love about Nourish. Mm-hmm. So, and a lot of dairy free.
And I think a place a lot of times, you go into, we wanted a place where it felt really good to be there too. And having it, so when we looked at a lot of different spots, and the one thing that we wanted it bright and airy, just like everything to feel just light when you're there, mm-hmm. And I think it's just a positive place because you're truly nourishing yourself, and then you sit there and you've got sun coming in, and
the windows are great. And Kalle really wanted downtown, which parking is behind us in the parking garage. Everyone, I'm gonna put that on there.
Please do, because people have very much misconceived notions about the parking. Oh, it's not It is one of actually the easiest restaurants to park at downtown.
Sure. Yeah.
It's way easier than the majority of the places to eat. And if you don't know where they are at, they are on Broadway, right by the big hotel, the Broadway Hotel, the one that has the rooftop bar on it as well. And it is, the space is so aesthetically pleasing. You feel clean not only when you eat, but when you're in there, when you're having the experience of it, because food is brought to us around experience. And the thing about how we fuel ourselves in today's world is that we are actually fueling ourselves the wrong kind of food for the experience more than the actual food itself. And by you guys giving people another option, you give them permission to make it possible for themselves, not only at your restaurant, but how can you do this at home? Like you were saying, you already had a cookbook out, and then you just released another cookbook as well.
So close. I'm waiting to hold the physical copy in my hand, and then when I give it the okay, we'll release it, which it should be before July. So if you hear this in August, go buy my book.
I love it.
It's on Amazon, or it'll be in Nourish, Happy Baking and Desserts. But yeah, we love to teach people things from home. We have a YouTube video out. Kalle gives a lot of tips on how to make different things. She's done smoothie classes where we do cooking classes. Our next one is next Tuesday for smoothies. But we've done like almond butter cups, sea salt truffles. Those are probably the favorites, are the desserts. We've done biscuits and gravy, the marinara bowl. People keep asking me to do pesto. I've done bread before. So really I just wait for somebody to ask me to do a class and I do it.
And so some of these classes are done publicly, but a lot of them are also done privately. So you can take your group after hours into Nourish one-on-one with Kimber in the kitchen and learn how to fuel yourself properly and have an experience, and a team building experience or a family gathering experience on your own, which is really cool. Because I know you guys, and I didn't know about this yet. So you guys really jazzed me up when we talked about this before we started the interview. So, and then you also have the Clean Eat Reset. Tell me about the Clean Eat Reset. What's that about?
So we always people indulge on the weekends, and a lot of times people start this on Monday. So we do all the breakfast, because we wanted a way for them to eat everything. So not like just one meal healthy at Nourish, but all your meals for the whole day. And so we make freezer smoothie bags. We give them our house-made almond milk. And so all they have to do in the morning is dump their almond milk and then the freezer bag into the smoothie, and there's your smoothie. Then we have a dairy-free, grain-free lunch. So we sub out our quinoa for cauliflower rice, and then our cashew ricotta for like any of the cheese dishes or cheese on the dishes. And then we also give them a dinner. So we selected the lunches and dinners, and then they get their choice of either bone broth for a snack, which is very gut healing, anti-inflammatory cashew milk, or a cold pressed juice as their snack. So for 3 days, they're getting nothing but like anti-inflammatory, high quality, nutrient rich food.
Right, which your body knows what to do with. And that's the thing about most air quoting, and you guys can't see the air quote, but the food that we think that we're eating is actually taking away from us instead of actually giving to us. And we're so overfed but undernourished. And I think that that's such a huge thing. The high level of just perfection when it comes to making sure that you keep all the ingredients so pure and as local as you possibly can have it. I mean, Kimber was giving me some information about some of their farmers, and we have to just put a list in the show notes because we have so many amazing local farmers. So these guys work with the food of the season, and you're getting local food. So it's a win-win-win in all directions when it comes to that. And they're giving you stuff that is going to be your greatest form of medicine, because our food, greatest form of medicine or slowest form of poison, and how can we set ourselves up for success, and then where can we go in town where we can have pure thought of going, oh, I'm safe to eat here. Because at this point in our world, there are so many allergens and there's so much cross-contamination in kitchens that if you do have an actual food allergy, most people don't even leave their own home to eat, because it's it's significantly dangerous. If you have an anaphylactic reaction, you're in some serious trouble. Yeah. And so your kitchen gives people an opportunity to have an out-to-eat experience and have peace of mind doing it at the same time.
Yeah.
And even when you don't have an allergy, so much of health is, you can't eat a healthy Broadway bowl and then slurp it down with a Coke. Like, a lot of what you're doing is taking out things that make you healthy. And you think you're getting a healthy option at a restaurant, but it still has like oils in there that are not good for you, that are going to cause this whole inflammatory cascade. And that's where we pay attention to every detail. You get a smoothie with us, there's not one preservative in there, because we make our almond milk in-house. I mean, if you look on the protein label, they sneak like turmeric, broccoli, like all these things in there. So there's so much in there that is just good for you. But most importantly, there's nothing snuck in there that is bad for you, that's going to cause anything but an anti-inflammatory experience, exactly where your body knows exactly what to do with everything that you've put into it.
Right, because our food is so inflammatory. And in my experience as a doc is that inflammatory responses are the precursor to all disease processes in the United States. Yeah. At least all of our big heavy hitters, from cancer, diabetes, obesity, heart disease, Alzheimer's, all of it. And you just do not want to mess with that. And that doesn't even touch the immune system response to it, and what happens when you break down the lining of the gut and what that can do to your brain and to your immune system and all sorts of different facets of your body. So you guys just hit an amazing milestone yesterday. So we're recording this in June. So just to give everybody a heads up, I'm not sure exactly when it's going to actually air, but these guys celebrated 2 years of being open for the Columbia community. So congratulations to them. I think that's really, really an amazing thing. And then I wanted to also touch base with you guys about juice cleanses that you guys do, because I get asked a lot of questions in our office about juice cleanses and how do we do them and what do we do. And really, if you want to do your own juice cleanse, have at it, but oh my gosh, let these ladies take the work out of it for you. So tell me about your juices, what kind of juices you have, and then what does your juice cleanse consist of?
So we're the only cold pressed juice place in Columbia. You see more on the coast, and they keep the enzymes and some of the minerals and everything more intact. So we do 4 cold pressed juices a day, and then 1 anti-inflammatory cashew milk. So kind of the same idea. In each bottle of juice, there's like 1.5 pounds, could be a little bit more, of organic produce, and so you can imagine how much produce your body is rapidly getting. It bypasses the digestive system and goes right into your cells. There's definitely talk with the blood sugar thing. That's why this isn't something you want to do for a really long period of time. That is why we do it as a reset. And you are getting so many nutrients, and once again, you're also taking out anything that could possibly be causing you any issues that you may or may not know about, like dairy and gluten or whatever. And then the anti-inflammatory cashew milk, and Kimber does hers in the morning if she were to do it, and I like it, and because I hate going to bed hungry, but it's just a healthy fat for your body too. So people usually do the 3-day. We have a couple people that will just they're just like, I feel gross, I just want a 1 day of nothing but clean and feel really good. Because you do. I mean, you're going to feel really, really good. I mean, if you do it for 3 days, you can tell in your skin will change. That's why we have one of the juices named Glow, because it will make your skin glow.
And a couple questions I usually get is, do you have to drink the lemon water in the morning? No, these are all just listen to your body. It's just like Nourish. We just want to be open to everyone. A lot of people ask if they have to stop drinking caffeine. I mean, if that's not something you're trying to detox from, don't worry about it. We don't want you to be so hardcore that you hate this. We want you to be more open to doing it more often, maybe 1 days if that's easier without all these things. And then if you do get hungry on the 2nd or 3rd day, we just say to eat raw veggies with low sugar. So carrots are a little bit higher in sugar, maybe I know lettuce plain is probably not very good, or celery or cucumber, something with a lot of water in it.
Or nuts. You could do nuts if you're trying to work out or something.
Yeah, we've had people do 5-day cleanses and they haven't eaten at all during it. I did a 3-day and ate by the 2nd night, but I also teach hot yoga and I'm the chef at Nourish. So I'm on my feet all day. I was not pumping at that time. but I still have kids. I'm chasing them around, so you gotta listen to your body. You can't force it just to be cool and say I did a juice cleanse. Like, who cares?
And it's
about your health.
And I think another thing with it that really is the journey I'm personally going on is so much of the mental with everything, the mental, emotional. And I think a lot of times things like this make you realize a lot of emotional patterns you have around food and kind of your comforts, your associations, and so I think that like doing these kind of resets, it makes your conscious brain think like, because we're in autopilot all the time. And so that's another one good thing about it. But
like bored eating in front of the TV, things like that. Another thing I wanted to say is because we do get so much local, it's usually picked the morning of that we get it delivered. So between the first 24 and 48 hours of something getting picked, it has the highest nutrient level. So you're getting those juices freshly pressed by local farmers. And we also help them out because I will take their quote unquote ugly fruits and veggies because at the farmer's market, everybody wants to buy the pretty stuff. So we help them out and we juice the quote unquote ugly ones for them so that they don't lose product and money too. So
it's still organic and
right. Nothing's wrong with it.
Yeah. This is a super common thing that I tell people when they go to the farmer's market is you're going to see all the pretty stuff because that's what we're trained to buy. But if you're having like economical stretches at certain points, ask the farmers if they have something that's not so pretty. And they'll usually give it to you at a discounted rate and use that for your advantage because it's all the same nutrients, and it really doesn't matter what it looks like whenever it's going to be fueling your body. And we just need to really change our mind on how we think about food in general and have it be a form of, fuel instead of the mindless eating like you were talking about. That's really a lot of our problems. We don't even think when we're eating, and then when we do get full, and I'm going to air quote this full too, we're usually having a mass inflammatory response and you're not even full. Like think about how you feel on Thanksgiving. Your body's just totally inflamed. Oh, yeah. You are not full. Your body's screaming for help, basically.
Your heart should not be racing after you eat.
No, you shouldn't be sweating.
Right. No, and you shouldn't feel like you just got hit by a Mack truck, like the whole,
laying around
for hours and being miserable, That, when my husband met me 5 years ago, he said that was when he stopped feeling like, I don't feel full. And I was like, babe, well, there's a difference between full and inflamed. You just don't need to get there every time. And I think that's such when I leave Nourish, I leave satiated, but light still. My brain is functioning. My cells are alive still. I could go and work out. I could go and have a conference. I could go and take care of my patients. And I'm not bogged down. If I go and I eat at any other, typical restaurant, you're going to still have some form of like down regulation where you're like and trying to come back out of that in the afternoon, which is so nice and light. So,
and also with that, if you go to any other restaurant, we have filtered water, reverse osmosis. So I have been watching a lot of podcasts on how bad our water is. I had no idea how bad Colombia in general was.
Colombia's awful. It's unbelievable. We shouldn't even be showering it.
No, I know. It makes me so sad to give Dylan a bath.
I know.
So, yeah, we feel reverse osmosis water. That's another thing with that clear mind and that clear, not feeling bogged down. We have that too. So.
I mean, it's just the details that are so normal to us because this is just the way we live our lives. But it is a big deal, and we kind of almost forget to, like, the RO water, we forget to, like, shout it out to the world because it's so, normal. All these little things are so important, but they take a little extra effort.
And we do that in our home. We both have our own home filters. So
that's what I got for my birthday.
I knew, yes, and we are, like, there's no way that we should be putting that kind of stuff through our system.
Well, your body doesn't know what to do with it. Like that is the thing. You shouldn't have pharmaceuticals and all these things in your drinking water. And, I mean, it's real important.
Right. It is what we're made out of. It is absolutely what we're made out of. So if they can't find you, if they're not able to get downtown and they are craving some Nourish, they can also find your stuff at clovers, correct?
Yes.
And so there's lots of different avenues with this. And these gals, I mean, we're only 2 years in. And I say, just keep your eyes out because they're really making an impact and really wanting community to be involved in nourishing their bodies, because I think that the mission is bigger to give access to food that is, that's going to fuel you and it's going to give you life and love. And how can we also make it to where it helps our local economy with our local farmers, and you know exactly what you're going to get without any kind of, wonder about it.
Speaking of, I would love to give a little bit of shout outs to the farmers and try and name some off. Okay,
please do.
So my top one I want to just say that we just had a good union with is Cassava Mama Tortillas. So she works at Clover's and she also now makes her tortillas in Nourish. So they are in a gluten and wheat free and corn free facility, which is a really big deal for people with those allergies. So we sell her tortillas in our market and in our wraps. We have Ozark Mountain Milks specifically for our coffee drinks. We make everything with our almond milk, like our gravy, our food products. Let's see, Z-Best coffee for our drip coffee, Fretboard for our espresso. We have Aura protein powder, which we might talk about here in a minute. I'll let Kaylee talk about their products. And then we have Happy Hollow for kale, Share Life Farm for kale and spinach, Peggy's Dome Garden for cilantro, parsley, basil, romaine, Goat's Beard Farm, Hem Farms for our cheddar. Oh my gosh, Veggie Patch for beets right now, and zucchini and tomatoes. The Sage Garden we have for strawberries. All of our smoothies right now are made with local fresh strawberries that we make our employees freeze for you guys. What else? There's so many more.
I just blanked.
Cheese,
the sauerkraut.
Oh, yep, the sauerkraut is Dan Kubler. The kombucha is ComCom. They're coming back soon. They're getting on a different distributor. Oh my gosh, there's so much more. The brown rice flour, organic, local. We just got that one.
There's a lot.
There's so many. I'm trying to think of more, but
we'll definitely we'll have all of these listed.
Perfect.
And probably if we can even get links to if they've got websites or things along
Not
those
a lot
lines.
of them do, but I know the ones that do.
Hey, perfect.
Yeah.
And that way we can at least let them know, hey, not only do you have this, but here's where you can go and start replacing what you used to buy with something that is more it'd be so much more of a rich experience going and getting your food and creating food and nourishing your body when you do it in terms of local farmers than just going to your local grocery store and getting food that was picked 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, put on a boat, shipped halfway across the world. It doesn't know you. Oh my gosh! Don't even get me started on that.
And these people have kids. We have connections. We have met these people. So please,
when you can shake your farmer's hand and look them in the eye and see the passion and dirt on their hands, and you know their family and you know their children's names, it's such a vast, richer experience.
Totally.
And I think that's from me, Coverdale Farms. That's another desert beef.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, when you're going to the farmer's market, I think supporting your local farmers, and it's a cool experience. It's not just about like going to get your good. There's live music. It's just that community that is there. We both love going, and I think even oftentimes with the whole just talking about the farmers. With the whole organic versus conventional, of course, for selfish purposes of your own body, not having the chemicals. But you think about the people that even work on these farms, and they're literally breathing this in day after day, and then the impact on the environment. And so I think it's so much more than just this your one. Exactly. Yeah. Gets into your water. Your one body. Because a lot of people are like, well, I might die anyway. Well, think about other things then. Because there's a lot of other reasons why we shouldn't be spraying our...
Oh, I mean, they have to wear hazmat suits a lot of the times. An interesting little side story about this is because we're in the Midwest. So we are in GMO Central. And... one of my best friends lives in northern Illinois, so again, GMO Central, all the way up there to Wisconsin, and they have a tree farm, and next to them is all corn and soy crops. And when they moved in, they have it's such a big operation that planes come and they spray. And the farmer will come and they give them the schedule. So at least they're courteous enough to say, hey, we're spraying for the next 2 days. If you keep your kids inside and things along those lines. So they get, that's how they use their family, trip. So all of these people that are in our rural areas, and when we're getting crop dusted or we're having people spray, be aware of that and making sure that you do get your children away from that and not be exposed to that. Because you're not going to get sick from it right away. Just like your food, if you eat food-like substance, your sickness is going to show up over time because it's a bioaccumulation of poor nutrient and you're depriving your body of what your body actually needs. The same thing with the chemical portion of it. And that's another thing that's so great about Nourish is organic. There is no chemicals. There is no pesticides. You don't have to worry about it. And you don't have, that's really a fun thing for the kids too, is your kid bowls. I think that's really, really awesome. So they have kid bowls that the children just absolutely eat up and love, and they make it fun to eat healthy instead of making it a chore to eat healthy. I think if we start to change our mindset, we can actually change our world when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Oh, for sure. And I think the earlier you start, the better. They won't even know any different. It's just kind of the way.
It's the way that it is, and they think it's normal. They think it's abnormal to do the other way because they don't know any different than what you've taught them.
I mean, it is. I see it with my own child. Like he went to a Mother's Day Out program, and there's one other mom that's very similar to me. Her kid just never really had anything, and they had cupcakes bought from like a commercial grocery store, and both kids got sick. Both of them. The other kids that eat that stuff all the time. It was Bone's first experience with formaldehyde in his food, and if you've ever seen those ingredients, it's crazy.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. One threw up and one got
need to change.
Their body was like,
Well, it's because it's amazing. What a beautiful adaptation,
right?
So if you do start to eat clean and then you do step back into an old routine, your body is going to tell you very loud and obviously.
And I think the one thing I use as an example, people are like, well, I'm fine, my body's fine with that, but it's because it's like a smoker. You smoke and your body doesn't know any different. You don't get sick. But if you don't smoke and then you your body rejects it.
Right.
It's the same thing when you take out a piece of food that you could possibly be like, I learned that in my body in particular with beans. I didn't really know, and then I took it out and then tried it again, and
it's not a good thing.
Yeah. And same with eggs, but I think you don't know, and your body gets so used to this state of fighting this off, and so over time people say, oh, I eat that all the time growing up. I'm fine, but it will get you. It will get you where you're weak. It will get you somewhere else. When it gets Kimber, where it would get me, where it would get you.
It's because it's going to pick an individual's weakest link.
Yep.
That's just what sickness does. Your sickness might show up as pain. Your sickness might show up as skin, diabetes. It can show up in so many different facets. It's how's it going to pick you. And one of my favorite examples in what you're just talking about is dairy. Dairy is a gray area. Sometimes it's tolerable for it, but in my opinion, if you're going to do any kind of dairy, it should absolutely be raw. It should absolutely be local. And really, it's not a necessary requirement for the human body whatsoever. No. And you don't know if you are sensitive to it or intolerant to it because you've never not been exposed to it.
Right.
Because the first thing that you're supposed to do after breast milk is to go right to cow milk. And
Dawn's never had cow milk in her life.
Thank God, because there's so many different options, and I just don't think that a lot of people know different options that they could make. And so knowing the farmers, like your goat milk farmer, and how you can actually make formula if you're unable to produce milk, or once you start to transition out, you just don't need to add it in.
They get fats from other things.
Amen.
It's such a weird...
Amen. It's such a really weird concept.
Yeah.
And if you ever have or never have eliminated dairy completely out of your diet, it is one of my favorite things to tell people to eliminate because it's usually noticed right away in terms of inflammation responses, clarity of thought, things along those lines. And then I tell people if you're going to add it back in, you do that on the weekend because you'll be pretty miserable most of the time.
Oh yeah, totally.
Well, I think
Series,
that you guys all need to go and check out Nourish Café and get some information. Go take your family down there. Sign up for one of the cooking classes. Get involved in your nourishment. Get involved in you fueling yourself to the point where you can create healthy outcomes for your family. And you guys are gems in this community.
Thank you.
I'm absolute gems. And you give people permission to start to do the walk because they see you doing it. Yeah. And
I'll be your biggest cheerleader. You just come tell me what you're doing and I will totally cheer you on.
I love that. We're going to put their information, a link to their Facebook page and their Instagram link as well, so that you can stay connected to all of their upcoming events and what they're doing and how they're making Nourish fun. So thanks for joining us today, guys.
Thank you so much.
Hi guys, Dr. Arminta here. Thank you so much for listening. I hope today's episode brought you information to help you eat better, move better, think better, and take care of the true root of your health issues. You can find us online at achievebalance.chiropractic.com/podcasts, and you can find us on social media as well. We look forward to having you here the next episode, and we look forward to helping you create a healthier future tomorrow.